Have you ever had this strange moment where you're in the middle of a thought, maybe judging someone, replaying something awkward you said, or forming an opinion, and suddenly something interrupts, not another thought, but you? It's like a second layer of your mind quietly steps in and goes, wait, why am I thinking this? And for a split second, everything slows down. You're no longer just thinking. You're watching yourself think. Most people don't notice this moment. They're inside their thoughts, completely absorbed in them. But if you've experienced this, you know how different it feels. Like there's a small gap between you and your mind. That gap has a name. It's called metacognition, the ability to think about your own thinking. But this isn't just awareness after the fact. This is something deeper. It's real-time mental monitoring, catching your thoughts while they're still forming. And if this happens to you often, it's not random. It's a specific type of intelligence that most people never fully develop. So the real question is, how do you know if you have it? Here are 7 precise signs you might. Sign number 1, you notice your thoughts in real time. Imagine this. Someone says something that slightly irritates you. Normally, the reaction is instant. You feel it and you respond without thinking. But this time, something different happens. You feel the irritation start to rise, and at the exact same moment, another part of you notices it. Oh, I'm getting annoyed right now. That's the difference. Most people become their thoughts and emotions. They're inside the reaction. You, on the other hand, are watching it unfold as it's happening. This is called meta-awareness, a real-time monitoring system in your mind, often linked to activity in the prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for control and decision-making. And here's what makes it rare. This isn't reflection after you've reacted. It's awareness during the reaction. There's a tiny gap, almost invisible, between impulse and action. A pause, and inside that pause, you get a choice. But there's a trade-off. While others react freely without hesitation, you're aware of everything, every thought, every shift, every reaction, and sometimes that level of awareness can feel like you never fully switch off. Sign number 2. You automatically question your own beliefs. You know that moment when you form an opinion, and it doesn't just settle, it gets challenged by you. You think something like, yeah, that person was wrong. And almost instantly, another voice cuts in, wait, were they actually wrong, or am I just seeing it from my side? That's not confusion. That's cognitive flexibility. Most people defend their beliefs. They protect them, justify them, even double down on them. But you do something different. You audit them. You run a quiet internal check. Is this true? Or just familiar? And here's the important distinction. This isn't insecurity. You're not doubting yourself for the sake of it. You're verifying your own thinking in real time. Because the brain naturally prefers certainty. It wants quick answers, stable beliefs, and minimal effort. Questioning yourself like this, it's mentally expensive, which is why most people avoid it. But if you do this often, you'll notice the trade-off. You might feel slower to reach conclusions, less certain, sometimes even conflicted. But in exchange, you avoid something far worse. Blind thinking that feels right, but isn't. Sign number 3, you catch emotional reactions before they take over. Picture this. Someone says something that hits a nerve, you feel it instantly, that surge of anger or maybe embarrassment creeping in. For most people, that's it. The emotion takes over and the reaction follows. But for you, there's a moment right in the middle of it where you catch it. I'm getting angry. That actually hurt more than I expected. You're not outside the emotion, but you're not fully consumed by it either. That's emotional regulation through awareness. The second you can label what you're feeling, something subtle happens, you create distance from it, almost like stepping half a step back inside your own mind. Behind the scenes, your brain is shifting control from the fast, reactive emotional system to the more deliberate decision-making part. And here's what makes this rare. Most people understand their emotions after they've already acted on them. You notice them while they're still forming. There's a strange side to this, though. In intense moments, you might feel slightly detached, like you're observing yourself in real time. But that detachment comes with something powerful, the ability to choose your response instead of being controlled by it. Sign number 4, you mentally. Simulate conversations and outcomes. Before a conversation even happens, you've already lived it. You're in the shower, walking alone, or just staring at your phone, and suddenly you're running scenarios. What if they say this? Okay, then I'll respond like that. No, wait. That might come off wrong, so you adjust it, replay it, refine it. By the time the real conversation happens, it feels strangely familiar. That's not random overthinking. It's your brain using predictive processing, a system designed to simulate possible outcomes before they happen. But here's the difference. You're not just thinking about what will happen. You're mapping what could happen. Multiple paths, multiple reactions, multiple endings, almost like your mind is running quiet rehearsals in the background. And here's the surprising part. Your brain doesn't fully distinguish between imagined and real experiences. So, in a way, you've already practiced the moment before it arrives. That can make you sharper, more prepared, more intentional, but there's a trade-off. Too many simulation, and you hesitate. You overcalculate. You get mentally exhausted before anything even happens. Still, it reveals something deeper. You don't just react to reality, you pre-experience it. Sign number 5, you catch your own biases while they're happening. Have you ever met someone and felt an instant like or dislike without knowing why? Most people just roll with that first impression. They justify it afterward. I just don't like them, or I knew they'd be great. But something makes you pause. Wait, am I being biased right now? That pause is rare. That pause is powerful. It's a sign of cognitive bias awareness, catching your mental shortcuts in real time. Confirmation bias, first impression bias, even subtle stereotypes. They pop up automatically, and most people never notice them. You don't ignore them or pretend they're not there. You observe. You step outside your own perspective while still holding it. It's unsettling sometimes. You might second-guess your instincts. You might feel hesitant. But here's the payoff. This split-second self-check allows you to make decisions that are more accurate, more fair, and less driven by invisible assumptions. Think about it. Your brain is designed to protect biases, not reveal them. So noticing them live, that's not just awareness. That's a rare, almost superhuman form of thinking. Sign number 6, you can step outside your own perspective. Imagine you're in a heated debate. Someone says something that immediately challenges everything you believe. Most people respond instinctively, defend, argue, push back. Their perspective is locked in. But something different happens. You pause, and in that pause, you step outside your own viewpoint. You can genuinely imagine what it's like to see the situation through their eyes, not just to play devil's and advocate, but to truly understand their reasoning, their emotions, their assumptions. This is called cognitive distancing, a mental skill that lets you observe your own position as if it belongs to someone else. It's rare. Most people are trapped in a single interpretation of reality, unaware that other valid perspectives exist. And yes, it can feel unsettling. You might feel less certain about your own opinion, even slightly disconnected from your previous convictions. But here's the payoff. This ability gives you deeper understanding, smoother communication, and the power to navigate conflicts without reacting impulsively. You're not just arguing to win, you're processing reality from multiple angles at once. Sign number 7, you update your thinking. Quickly, when proven wrong. Picture this. You're in the middle of a conversation, confident in your stance. Then, someone points out a fact you hadn't considered. For most people, that's when the defense mechanisms kick in, justifications, excuses, clinging to your position. But not for you. Instead, there's a pause. And then you do something rare. You update your thinking almost immediately. This is the essence of Bayesian updating, A mental process where your beliefs adjust dynamically based on new evidence. Each correction isn't a threat to your ego, it's valuable data. Here's the contrast. Most minds resist being wrong. They treat mistakes as failures. You treat them as information. That flexibility makes your thinking sharper over time. You become less rigid, less trapped in old assumptions. It's not easy. Letting go of an idea in real time requires humility and self-awareness, but the payoff is huge. The ability to learn faster, adapt quicker, and navigate complex situations with a clarity most people never experience. This is the hallmark of rare high-level intelligence, a mind that evolves as life unfolds moment by moment. Think about all the signs we've explored, the ability to notice your thoughts in real time, question your beliefs, catch emotions before they take over, simulate conversations in your head, detect your own biases, step outside your perspective, and update your thinking quickly when proven wrong. Taken together, they reveal a single pattern. You don't just have thoughts, you observe, analyze, and interact with them. This is metacognitive intelligence in action, a rare, almost invisible skill that most people never develop. But here's the hidden cost. Because you're constantly monitoring your own mind, you feel it: overanalysis, mental fatigue, and the struggle to ever switch off. While others drift through life without noticing, you're acutely aware of what's happening in every corner of your mind. Socially, it can feel isolating, like you're always a step ahead of people who aren't wired this way. Yet this clarity comes with power. You gain a level of insight most people never experience. You see patterns, motives, and blind spots, not just in others, but in yourself. You notice impulses before they erupt, assumptions before they calcify. You see things others don't, including parts of yourself most people never even acknowledge. Ultimately, you don't just think, you understand the system behind your thinking. That's what makes this kind of intelligence both rare and profoundly transformative. So here's a question for you. Which of these 7 signs felt the most familiar to you? Think about it, and maybe even share your answer, because awareness is the first step toward mastering your own mind.